Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to learn polynomial curve fitting. Polynomial curve fitting is one of the most important techniques used in engineering, data analysis, scientific computing, and machine learning. In real engineering projects, measurements collected from sensors and experiments usually contain noise and inaccuracies. Instead of analyzing thousands of individual measurements, engineers create a mathematical model that represents the overall trend of the data. This process is called curve fitting. By the end of this video, you will understand the concept, engineering applications, code implementation, and interpretation of results. Polynomial curve fitting is a mathematical technique used to approximate a relationship between variables using a polynomial equation. A polynomial equation may contain constant, linear, quadratic, and cubic terms. The objective is to determine coefficients that produce the best representation of observed data. Imagine collecting measurements from a laboratory experiment. Because of measurement errors and environmental effects, the data points rarely form a perfect curve. Curve fitting helps us identify the hidden trend inside noisy measurements. This allows engineers to build mathematical models that can be used for prediction and analysis. Polynomial fitting has numerous engineering applications. In mechanical engineering, it is used for vibration analysis, stress-strain studies, and performance evaluation. In electrical engineering, it is used for sensor calibration, voltage-current relationships, and signal processing. In civil engineering, it is used for structural analysis, environmental measurements, and load distribution. In aerospace engineering, it helps model aerodynamic behavior and flight performance. In data science and machine learning, it is used to discover trends hidden inside large data sets. Now let us understand what the code is doing. The first commands clear variables, close figures, and clear the command window. This ensures that previous calculations do not affect the current execution. Next, the code generates x values ranging from -2 to +2. These x values become the independent variable used throughout the example. The code then creates y values using a cubic polynomial equation. The equation contains cubic, quadratic, linear, and constant terms. At this stage, the generated data is mathematically perfect. However, real engineering measurements are rarely perfect. Therefore, the program intentionally adds random noise. The noise simulates sensor errors and measurement uncertainty. This produces a realistic dataset similar to what engineers encounter in practical situations. The scatter plot displays the noisy measurements. Each point represents an observation or measurement. Notice that the points do not perfectly follow a smooth curve. This behavior is expected because noise has been introduced. The scatter plot helps visualize the challenge of analyzing real-world data. The most important function in this example is polyfit. Polyfit calculates the coefficients of a polynomial that best approximates the measured data. The polynomial degree selected in this example is 3. This means the software attempts to fit a cubic polynomial. Internally, the algorithm uses the least squares method. The least squares method minimizes the total error between measured values and predicted values. This produces a curve that represents the overall trend of the dataset. After obtaining polynomial coefficients, the polyval function is used. Polyval evaluates the polynomial at each x value. The result is a smooth set of predicted y values. These values form the fitted curve that will be displayed on the graph. The fitted curve provides a mathematical representation of the measured data. The graph contains two important components. The scattered points represent noisy measurements. The smooth curve represents the fitted polynomial model. Notice that the fitted curve does not pass through every measurement point. This is normal. The objective is not to touch every point. The objective is to capture the overall trend hidden inside the data. This trend can then be used for prediction, analysis, and engineering decision-making. Let us summarize what we learned. We generated data using a cubic polynomial equation. We added random noise to simulate real measurements. We visualized the data using a scatter plot. We used polyfit to determine the best-fitting polynomial. We used polyval to generate the fitted curve. Finally, we compared measured data with the mathematical model. Polynomial curve fitting is one of the most important tools in engineering and scientific computing. Understanding this concept helps engineers analyze data, build predictive models, and solve practical engineering problems. Thank you for watching.